Hello and welcome to Episode 6, the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast. This is the second part of the Dylan Holmes episode. And we get into our second part of our movie reviews. We talk about a movie that disappointed us and then also one of our favourite movies of all time. So it's a good episode, and shout out to Dylan for being on this episode in the second part, and also shout out to Better Music in Woden for supplying the microphones for the podcast. Shout out to those guys. As well as shout out to The Basement for letting us record there. Basement in Belconnen, 2 Cullen Street. Head on there for some live music and some food from Chompies. Before we get into it, we got a couple of dates for the upcoming open mics. So tomorrow is open mic at the Irish Club. That one there starts at 8 o'clock, and it also marks my 2-year comedy anniversary. So 2 years ago tomorrow I started comedy, so I'll be down there on that stage. Come and watch me and a bunch of other Canberra comedians do our stage time for the month at Irish Club, and then we've got a new open mic coming to White Rabbit on the 12th. That one starts at 8 o'clock, so White Rabbit in the city. Then you've got open mic at the Boardwalk in Belconnen on the 27th, starting from 8 o'clock. And we got also our Beyond Q comedy Christmas special. I'm on that one. It's at Beyond Q at Watson, and it is kicking off from 8 o'clock. That one there, you can pre-purchase tickets for that event through the link in my social media. So head over to Instagram or on Facebook. I've shared the event for more information. And last but not least, we've got Basement Comedy Belconnen at the Basement on the 19th at 8 p.m. So come on down and check that one out for the room that I run and also the venue that we record the podcast at. So stick around for the rest of the episode. Cheers for listening. Remember to like, subscribe and share for more content. Welcome to the second episode of the Marky Worthington Podcast with Dylan Holmes. In the first episode, we did a full breakdown on the movie Alien vs. Predator. And we're back again for another episode. In this one, we're going to be doing our favourite movie of all time, and also a movie that just, in my case, disappointed me. Thanks for being on the show, man.
No, Dan, thanks for having me again, man. I'm having a blast.
Yeah, cool, man. Also, that'll be cool. We'll be able to get into that a bit more. But just for anyone that doesn't know you, man, how long you been doing comedy for?
I think I'm coming up on 2 years at the moment, mainly just kicking about them open mics, but a Raw state final alum.
Yeah,
Probably my biggest thing at the moment. So, yeah, just keeping at it, plugging in.
Cool. And this year again, going for it again?
Yeah, definitely. I think I got a good set, hopefully. So, try to make the parents proud.
Yeah, dude. No, it's cool when you have people come along. Actually, neither of my parents have ever come to one of my one of the nights I've been performing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's good and bad. Like when you have people you know in the crowd, because sometimes it's like you're performing to them.
Yeah, definitely. Because I've got my mum coming to Thursday night at the Polet Bar.
Yep.
And dude, anyone who's all my jokes are either about video games or just fucking dicks and butts.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one. Like, my mom's not going to get a video game joke.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of just doing, like, all my dick jokes. Just, like...
Get them burned.
Yeah, or just, like, rip the Band-Aid off. It's this is what your son does, Mum. Like, this is just terrible.
Dude, that's awesome. I do have one video on my Facebook of when I went down to Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned it before on the podcast, but basically what happened was I signed up because in a different town, I don't know who runs the room or anything like that. I just rocked up, went up to the person taking names who wasn't the MC, and then didn't check where I was on the list because they reordered it after we put our names down.
Classic move.
So, yeah, just like just classic stitch up, and I and I just had to sit in the front row because I wasn't sure when I was going to get called. So you know that moment of anticipation between when they're like, "Welcome to the next stage." Like as soon as I was just like, "This could be me," or like it'd be a name that started with M. So I was no, and then it'd be fine. Or like if they were like, oh, this next performer's performed in Melbourne Comedy Festival, like, oh, cool, I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what happened is I only just started my Facebook page around that time. And I decided that, all right, well, I'm going to film this because it's like a different room, different town, different crowd. And if it turns out okay, I'll put it up as a video. Now, what happened was, because I was in the front row for the entire time, I'm way up in the second half. But from the start of the night, I'm in the front. MC doesn't know that I was on the bill because he wasn't the one that wrote my name down.
Yeah.
So he was just doing all of his crowd work on me. Because I was like the only one in the front row.
That's so shit when that happens. Yeah.
So what happens is he's like, next up to the stage, we've got Marky Worthington. And then sees the guy he's been riffing on the whole time stand up.
Yeah.
And that's when the video starts. I grab the mic and go, now it's my turn on the mic, motherfuckers. Crowd starts laughing, and that's the icebreaker, and I just come in hot and just fucking, like... I wish I did a little bit more of the addressing of the fact that happened.
Yeah.
But that's where the video comes in. I ended up putting it up. But because I'm, like, mad and I'm, like, kind of in a ranting mode...
Yeah. It
was the first video I put up and the first time my mum ever seen me do stand-up.
Yeah.
So next time she's talking to me, she's like, oh, I watched your video, I couldn't get through it. Is it swearing too much? Like, I'll have to just wait.
Yeah, and with the explaining, man, I think you made the right call. Like, you only got 5 minutes. You can't, like, spend the first just like, well, I came here to film the thing, and then he was picking on me, and now I'm going to pick on him.
Yeah, man. I think it was one of those moments where if I just went up and did the 5 minutes that I was doing at the time and didn't film it, it would have been forgotten. But the fact that actually happened made it more memorable. Like, it was actually a funny story to me.
Yeah, definitely way better than just doing like your 5 minutes or whatever that you've done like a million times.
Yeah, or like just going up and saying something that was relevant to that time.
Yeah.
I think I need to use more of those relevant jokes for burners for like socials. So like if something's happening right now and you do a joke about it and you happen to like film your set or whatever, put that up as a burner so that people can like see it, but you're not killing material.
Yeah, definitely. And like that's a strength of yours. You have like a good clapback game. So
sick, man.
Yeah, you do,
Thank
man.
you.
It's like, should I just heckle this guy? Like, dude,
Oh man, like I think
don't ever heckle, by the way. Or me, don't heckle me,
man. Well, to be honest, man, sometimes like I'll actually get a good bit from someone that says something.
Yeah.
So like I might get a good tag to a joke or like a second punchline for the same setup.
Yeah.
Because someone will say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I forgot whose podcast I was listening to, but there's like this misconception of like hecklers, like you need to be like faster and wittier than them and like shut them down. But mostly it's someone who's just off their tits, just yelling bullshit. It's like you can only like be clever and cutting like so many times before it's just belligerent them at you, and you're just like, fucking shut up.
Like sometimes you can't think of something to come back to them because what they said made no sense.
Yeah, definitely. It's just noise.
Yeah, like, it's a bit like actually I complimented 2 local dudes for their like heckle comeback skills.
Yeah.
Nick Schuler, if you've ever seen him deal with a heckler. And I said it to him last time I was talking to him. I was like, dude, you've got this ability to just be like, start talking, you've got a moment. Yeah. But then when it gets too much, you're like, I didn't ask for your opinion.
Yeah.
And just cut him off. It's just really, really well done. I think his relationship with the audience is really solid. Like his ability to kind of involve them until it's their time to talk is over and now keep talking.
Yeah. I think he's also like sneaky swole. Like, he looks kind of like a nerdy guy, but then you're like, hold on.
Yeah.
Like, he could probably fuck me up.
Yeah, he's like really the Ned Flanders of the comedy scene.
Dude, that's exactly it. Fuck.
Like
Simpsons so good.
Or like Willie. You know, like
dude. Fuck. Can we just talk about The Simpsons for another 30 minutes?
Yeah, man. No, I'm into that. And the other guy that I complimented on it was Bill Macon.
Bill Macon, definitely,
yeah, dude,
man.
Smashes it. And it comes out in his roast battles. Like, if you've ever seen... I remember one night I was at Smith's, and it was after the roast battles, but it was before his comedy hour. So he was still trying to fine-tune a couple of things for the comedy hour, but he had all this leftover material from the roast battles.
Yeah.
So, like, someone just heckled him, and it was just like... I'm not going to worry about my material. I've got all this leftover stuff from roast battles, which I'm just going to... He did like 2 minutes to this heckler.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, I'm done. Like that was as good as anything.
Dude, Bill kind of keeps you honest as well. Like if you're up before him and you fuck up, he'll like rip on you on stage.
Man, I love it, man. Dude, it's why it's... Actually, Bill was the first MC that I ever did an open mic with.
Yeah.
So he did the sign up and MC'd for the first ever open mic I ever did. And I mentioned that in the first podcast, and that's why I had him on, because it was kind of like my starting point and also like a good starting point for the podcast.
Yep.
And also it was because it was just before we were... the comedy festival, and it just took me so long to release it.
Yeah.
So there was also some like actual reason for doing that. I just never utilized it.
Yeah, being relevant. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is funny because like some of the dates are off in the first couple episodes. You're like talking about open mics that haven't started, that have been established.
Yeah.
But man, it's one of those things that's just, he does keep you honest, man.
Yeah, he does,
And also, he kind of knows a lot of people in the scene and kind of like how to, he's just really cool to have.
Yeah, he's great for like, he's like a good person to like know, and like he helps new people, so
yeah, dude.
He does it right, man. Like,
yeah, dude. Yeah. No, he'll like plenty of times he'll say like, oh, "That's a good bit, man."
Yeah.
Like I kind of know, and it also helps. He's got like a unique laugh, so you can tell what shit
every time it's Bill laughing.
Yeah, you can tell what's hitting him well.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't care what the rest of the crowd is doing. If I can hear him laugh and it's a good bit, fuck everyone else.
Oh, dude, it's so good when like you get one of the comedians on your side.
Yeah.
At least I'm making this guy laugh. Man. That means something here's funny. Like,
yeah. Like many times you'll just be like, "Thanks, Matty Weeks."
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But dude, who was the? Do you remember the first ever place you did comedy?
That would have been the Phoenix.
Yep.
And I think I'm not sure if it was Dom emceeing.
I know Frankie ran that room.
Frankie did run that room, but I think it was maybe Don or Anthony that was emceeing. So I remember one time Dom was MC and it was so funny, but it was so rough and like he didn't really get invited back again. But, that would be one of the times.
Dom's still standing. Phoenix isn't, so I guess.
Yeah. The Phoenix will be reborn, I guess. Is the cliche.
Well, I don't know. It's like cats. They say have 9 lives, but the Phoenix already raised from the ashes once.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe it's like Heroes of Might and Magic 3, you know? It's like a 50-50 chance if it comes back again.
Yeah, it's like a roll of a dice.
Yeah. RNG.
Like D6, 3 or whatever.
Oh, man.
But I think that the Phoenix closing was like the gateway to where the other mics in town sort of opened back up again.
They had to step up. Like, people were, desperate for comedy, and then, like, Phoenix closed down, and then all these people are, like, out getting new rooms. Like, Kai's done great.
Yep.
The front's open again. Like, Smith's is, like, 60 people every time.
Yeah. It's really picked up, man. I think that at the same time, this kind of new influx of comedians has come along too. There's like a new few waves.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years I've been doing comedy, I've noticed at least like 2 waves of newcomers.
Yeah.
Pretty much every year there's a bunch of people that will just start randomly. And it's good when you get a few new people coming along.
It is good, but you see, like, I don't know, not as much people stick around as like you kind of want, though. You know.
Yeah. Well, part of the problem with that is like a lot of them are open mic, so they're going to be on a weeknight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And a lot of people like dude, if you don't have a job in your 20s, you're not retired. You just don't have a job.
Yeah, it's so true, man. Oh man, we'll never retire. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. Like, comedy is probably one of those careers that you will do forever.
Yeah, if you can.
Like if you want to keep doing it, you can.
Yeah, well, it takes like 10 years to like get anywhere. Like, after that, I'm not fucking giving up.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I'm throwing it away.
Yeah, exactly, dude. But yeah, there's a little intro, a little bit of chat about the Canberra scene, and now we're going to get into a second movie episode. Let's kick it off, man. What's your most loved movie of all time?
My most loved movie, my favorite movie is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
I love that shit, man.
Dude, how fucking cool is that movie, dude?
Dude, it is so good. Like, honestly, it's the best, like, I know they're all the rage at the moment, but the best comic book adaptation I've ever seen.
There's one of the original ones too, wasn't it? Like Sorry, it'll start the beginning of the current wave of like video game sort of movies.
Yeah, video game and like so it was a comic about video games that got turned into a movie.
Yep.
And it's probably, if you want to say that it's a video game movie, it's probably the best one.
Yeah.
And in terms of comics, like you said, they didn't start the wave of it, but like before that, there was kind of like the Nolan Batman series and stuff like that. But I think this was, which kind of had like their own story. But I think this was like the first one that's like taken directly the story of the comic book into a film, and I think it's one of the better adaptations I've ever seen. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I think I've seen that one at the cinema. Did you watch that one at the movies?
At the movies, and then I got it on DVDs like as soon as it came out. It used to be my like sleepy time.
Yeah,
you know when you put it on while you just drifting to sleep, just have something on. Yeah,
just waiting for the CPAP machine to warm up.
Oh, this was long before that.
Oh, dude, this is me, man. Like,
Okay.
I can't. So like, I've sleep apnea and I've a CPAP machine, and it ramps up.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
So you can't just fucking put it on and be like, time for bed.
No,
you gotta kind of chill for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's always funny, dude, because like if have you ever just because I know with mine, right? If I got to get up during the night, I turn it off and I just unclip it and leave the mask on my face.
Oh, no, I don't do that.
So you ever
man.
just catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror, and you're just like, dude. Like I remember, I was single when I had it, and I'm just like, well, how can I like bring something back to my face and just be like, yo, I'm like I'm in my 20s, but I have to wear this shit.
Yeah. And like the fucking sound that it makes.
Yeah. Just, like, or you just say like, it's just probably like, yo, if I come with like a warning if I like stop breathing, like,
just hit the elbow in.
Description like must know CPR if you want to stay the night sort of thing.
Yeah, man. Fuck. Sleep apnea is rough. Yeah.
I think that's a pretty honourable like position to put a movie. The movie that you put on when you're trying to sleep.
Yeah. The one that you're like most comfortable with.
Yeah, it's like the comfort movie.
Yeah. Like, dude, I just love it so much. I think, and why I say it's the best comic book adaptation is because they took the bits of the comic book that were like undercooked or like not quite as good, and they like lifted them up, like revamped them, because it's directed by Edgar Wright, who did the Cornetto trilogy and Baby Driver.
Yep.
And there's one bit like I always point for that, and that's the bit with Chris Evans. He plays kind of like this douchey like skater that's turned into a movie star, and everything he says is so funny, like so charismatic. And like in the comic book, he's just kind of like this generic, he's not like a throwaway character, but like he's just a boss fight in the comic. And in the film, it's like so much funnier. And like you see, like, and I think that's the thing, like modern films, I once heard like the theory that you need to make it rewatchable.
Yeah.
And then like there's something I didn't even notice until I was watching the fucking director's commentary, because that's how deep I went on this film. Like he fights Chris Evans on a movie set, and they've got a backdrop, and he punches him through it, but it's just the same shit on the other side. Like it's like the actual skyline of the city. Fuck, man. And I'm just geeking out about my fucking my film.
Dude, I love it, man. I like when you get in deep on a movie, man. Leads me to my favorite film of all time, man.
Yep.
Fucking Terminator 2.
Yes.
Yep. It's like just badass, dude.
It is.
I'm kind of like it that not. Because like I feel like Terminator has like a whole different level of following. Like it's got like as far as like learning the backstory, like knowing the like the plot inside and out.
Definitely.
The like fan sort of fan fiction sort of stuff.
Yeah. Because you bring that up, and like I've seen Terminator 2 a bunch.
Yeah.
I've seen Terminator once.
Yeah.
like, and then you mention with that, like the new one, I know that was pretty bad. The was it Genesis?
Genesis, yeah.
Yeah, like you needed to know a lot about Terminator to get that film.
Yeah, man. Terminator 2 is so good. I've watched everyone since just off residuals.
Yeah.
Like the second one was so fucking good.
It is.
That 3, 4, and 5, I've just watched as like a reflex.
Yeah, right.
Like it's kind of like if you went to a restaurant and the food was so fucking good, you went back there 4 times to be disappointed, but you just kept going back.
That one
because the
meal,
one time that was great
Yeah.
Even if they could never recreate that first one, it was just so good that you're chasing it forever.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think about people have this whole thing now? It's like, oh, you ruined my childhood, like with these new things, which I don't agree with at all. Like, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like Terminator 2 is like sullied by the existence of 3, 4, and 5? Because
no,
yeah, neither do I.
I don't think so, because it's just like, if you don't like it, don't fucking watch it.
Dude, for those 2 hours, I'm fucking so on board. Like, you know, it's like I'm not thinking about, oh man, Genesis was pretty shit. I was like, fucking look at this Harley Davidson and he's flipping the shotgun. Like,
yeah, man. Oh, fucking Terminator 2, dude. Like, I always wanted to recreate that scene
in the aqueducts.
No, from Terminator 2 with the bar scene from the start.
Oh yeah.
But just with people I knew that kind of resembled the people.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't put myself in Arnie's position. I'd be the guy, the bartender.
The bartender. Right.
Can't let you take the man's wheels, son. Like that guy. And he just nicks his sonnies. Like, I just kind of... The funny thing is, the only guy I'd have to cast for that out of my group of mates is the Arnie role.
Okay.
Like, I got enough mates that look like the guy that got thrown onto the fucking fire. The fryer. Like, it's just...
Yeah, who's putting out the cigarette on him?
The cigar on the
cigar,
dude. Yeah. He's got I'm just a massive fan of that movie, and I like everything leading up to it. The whole the concept. The Sarah, actually, we're talking in the previous episode about how someone looks like a smoker.
Yeah,
Sarah Connor looks a little bit junky in that.
She does.
Like she looks a bit like they play the role of that she's like been under the stress of being in the
insane asylum. Yeah, like definitely. Linda Hamilton, is it?
Yeah. Fun fact: this would be something that people can look up themselves.
Yep.
Because I don't know it 100%. So definitely just hit me up with the truth for this. Because I'm not going to do research, dude. I printed an A4 paper of reviews. It's the reason I was 15 minutes late. Like that's how much I. Like, that's how much I put into this. But I was told that the guy that played Darth Vader actually trained her between Terminator 1 and 2.
Darth Vader, sorry, I got him mixed up with Darth Maul. I was like, somehow.
Like, how did he do that? He was cut in half.
But he survived, man.
Oh, yeah, with the robo-legs and stuff in Clone Wars.
Dude, I go deep.
Yeah, okay. I'm not quite at that level with Star Wars. But yeah, I'm definitely about Terminator 2. I also think that I watched it fairly young.
Yeah, me too.
So it kind of like has that level of nostalgia as well.
Yeah, it's like it imprints on you like a baby duck does to like the person who finds it.
Exactly, man. It's like Terminator found me.
Yeah.
And then I found myself.
Yeah.
Man, I think that's legit though. Like, I think that there's something about that, like movies from your childhood, because like Disney movies that I didn't see when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I rewatch them now, and it doesn't have that same impact as ones I grew up with.
Dude, speaking of Star Wars, I will defend those prequels until my last breath.
Oh man, Darth Maul is my
Darth
favorite.
Maul.
Yeah.
Production design! Whatever the dude's name is that played him, fucking doing flips and shit.
Man, I've seen someone cosplay as Darth Maul and they nailed everything, but they forgot about the horns. So it just
looks like a bald dude with tattoos.
No. When I say they forgot, I mean they forgot to get horns.
Yeah, so he's just bald.
But they did use something. Do you want to know what they did?
So
paper? This person just rocks up full fucking Darth Maul outfit, right?
Yeah.
Forgets about two very key fucking elements. Horns.
And a lightsaber.
Double.
Yeah.
Dude's just nailed the outfit. Fucking killed with the face paint.
Yep.
Has a blue lightsaber and rocks glued to his forehead. Like pebbles, pebbles glued to the forehead.
Oh my god! What level of commitment do you go to like get the face paint and everything, and not get
just forget about the fucking lightsaber, which is like probably one of the most recognizable,
iconic
fucking lightsabers.
That's like why you I don't know if you remember like with the kid. That's why you were excited to see episode 1.
Once you see the second side, like.
Oh yeah, when he like flips around and then
Talking about good fight scenes, which we had in the first episode, this one here, dude, best fight scene in Terminator 2?
Hit me with it.
At the fucking steel mill, Arnie punches him. He turns that bit into his hand.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude. I remember that. And then he like smashes his head with the beam.
Fucking yeah.
And then stabbed him through. There's a reference to that in Big Mouth recently.
That's
like,
right.
Just stabs him. Yeah.
Dude, in the new Mortal Kombat, have you seen the kill?
Fucking the Terminator's in it?
kill?
Yeah. Yeah,
shit.
dude. I've seen a bit. I've seen the intros and the fatalities.
Yeah. Well, man, so yeah, that's my most loved movie of all time. It's not really my going to sleep one because I kind of get excited by it.
Yeah. It's also like gunfire and shit.
It's kind of not really that, but it's definitely my like internet's down and I need to watch something. I've got that in. Actually, it's one of the movies that whenever a new platform comes out, I'll buy it on that. I just bought it on 4K.
Okay, yeah.
Because I had it on DVD, got it on Blu-ray. Now I'm like, I want to see because I know the movie so well.
Yeah.
It's a good judge of like what a new
how they've upped it
platform is. Because I'm like, oh, that's like, I know that scene well.
Yeah.
So now I know what a good version of that scene should look like.
Supposed to look like, yeah.
For example, I watched Kindergarten Cop last night.
Yeah.
And
what, 4K?
No, just DVD, bro.
They're not doing 4K.
Dude, the fucking it's like, that's not the residuals. It gets more residuals from memes, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Or like soundboards.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
not a tumor.
Yeah, it's not a tumor. I'm a cop, you idiot.
And,
and then you've got Detective John Kimball. Like, that's like three major.
Who's your daddy?
Yeah,
and what does he do?
Yeah. So I think I'll watch Twins tomorrow just to make like like a 3-movie thing, man. But yeah, so that movie was one of the things. But dude, Kindergarten Cop, they like ported it from VHS, bro. It's like like it literally is like watching it on VHS, but it's a DVD.
Same like quality.
Yeah. It's like the same. It's got like the same like like the you know, like when the tape used to get stretched.
Oh yeah.
It's got like that same dodgy audio like contrast. Like it's like I paid for it, but it's still a bootleg.
Yeah. Taiwan or whatever.
Yeah, it was in a clear CD case.
Oh, I remember
like,
those. Yeah,
I didn't I actually bought this is a legit version, but it's like I may as well have just got the one with like a different language as the only subtitle.
It's just got like in Sharpie, it was like Kindergarten Cop written on it.
But the thing is, the original movie title is meant to be written in
is
crayon. It says like kindergarten written in fucking like crayon.
Yeah.
So it's just like, well, I don't know if that's fake or not. Like, it'd be funny if I went onto like the website and it was written in just normal text, and I realized that the one I had was written in crayon.
Fuck.
It's like, oh, I really like the detail with the crayon title. Yeah. Really sounds like kindergarten.
Yeah, someone's doing a good
like
job there.
Every letter's in a different color.
Yeah, some of them are backwards.
Like Jim Jeffries got that bit. I wrote a card to my wife from my son.
Yeah.
With my left hand and did like one of the letters backwards because I know my kid's an idiot. Oh man.
Yeah.
So now the letdown, dude. What's on the other end of the scale?
Dude, the other week I watched what was it called? Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah. The
Crimes of Grindelwald, which is like the second part of the new like Harry Potter stuff.
Yep.
And holy shit, can J.K. Rowling chill the fuck out?
Yeah.
Dude, there is that spoilers, that film is bookended with a child death at the start. We're talking like 5 years old, and at the end like a literal infant drowns. What the fuck? Yeah. Like, dude, I just want to see spells.
It's like, dude, why don't you just, like, J.K. Rowling, why can't you just level your anger out across? It's like that movie's like the blue balls that she got from fucking Harry Potter not being as brutal she wanted it to be.
But still, Harry Potter like ramped up really well. It's like it aged with its audience.
True.
Like exactly how it should have. Yeah. And then like Fantastic Beasts, I kind of like the first one. I was like, yeah, this is Harry Potter. Look, this guy's a Hufflepuff. I'm a Hufflepuff. Shout out.
Oh, okay. Slytherin myself, but yeah.
Yeah, everyone wants to be a fucking edgy.
Yeah, dude, look at me, bro. Like,
yeah, that's fair enough.
I look like, yeah.
You do look like you'd take my money.
Take
my lunch money.
Yeah. It's like, but I'm just the result of people taking my lunch money.
Let's see some broken man.
The truth, man. Like, you become what you always hated.
Dude, that's the kind of shit she would put in this new movie. It's like Marky was abused at a young age, which is in the first one, to be honest. But
it's
little Ezra Miller, he's like I forgot what they're called.
Yeah,
the monster. But I like the first one. I thought it was like pretty charming, and it had like a lot of like world building and lore, which I like. Yep. I think is like a big part of Harry Potter. And then the next one was just like, they tried to do Empire Strikes Back and fucking missed. Like, it's half a movie. Yeah. Like, I didn't like it at all.
Well, yeah, man. Like, no, I'm with you on like that when you were saying about like when you bookend something with like gnarly stuff like that. Yeah. For example, dude, have you seen William Dafoe's Antichrist?
No, but I've heard about it.
Fuck, man.
Dude, that's Lars von Trier, right?
Man, it's like 2 actors for the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's depression in fucking movie form.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
It's just grey. There's hints of red. It's just fucking like fucking spoiler. The guy gets like, William Dafoe's character gets a fucking like 2 things.
Yep.
His crazy ass fucking missus, who's dealing with like PTSD and whatever else from like the loss of their child. Slams like a concrete wheel into his fucking cock and then fucking bolts it to his leg.
What?
So he can't get away.
That's fucking gnarly.
And he hides in like a foxhole so that she can't find him. And I just remember thinking that wound's getting infected.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
dude, there's so much that happens in like movies. You're like, you're losing that limb.
You're losing that limb. Like, gangrene don't discriminate.
It does not.
Like, yeah, so it's just, dude, that movie is just insane. Like, I had a date night with this girl one time. She came to my place.
Did you fucking watch Antichrist?
And we put on Antichrist,
what the
bro.
fuck?
And I kind of like she's such a champ. She kind of went along with it for a little while, but then I was just like, if you ever showed someone a video on your phone and like you realize it goes for 12 minutes and they're not really into it as much as what you were.
Yep.
I wasn't into it. She just hadn't seen it. And she was like, oh, I haven't seen that one. Let's watch that. Yeah. And then I was kind of like, we got midway through and I'm like, I just did the whole like, oh, you get the idea. And just turned it off.
Yeah, dude, we watched, I Spit on Your Grave too.
Yeah, dude. Same thing happened.
Yeah, did it?
Yeah. Another, like, probably one of my early relationships, I used to house sit.
Yeah.
And when you house sit for someone, you don't really want to fuck up their house.
Yeah.
So you're refined to watching movies because you don't want to use their stuff.
Yeah, or like come on anything.
Yeah. Exactly. You like, or you don't want to risk coming on anything.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're just watching I Spit on Your Grave. And all of a sudden, it was like, this chick just wanted to do, like, housework. Like, she's like, oh, let's, like she just didn't have the heart to tell me she wasn't into
the movie, yeah.
But it was back in the day when it was, like, 3 weeklies for $5 from Video Easy.
Yeah,
so, like, that was one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we're watching all of these movies.
Yeah.
But that one I'm going to put aside.
You're missing it, babe!
I paused it.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, man. Yeah, so that's one of those movies are, like, gnarly. And they made a few of them, man. They made, like, the 80s version. They remade it. Yeah. And then there's 2 and 3.
Yeah. Well, I think those movies, I don't know if we're running out of time, but it's like, I don't know, a lot of the point of them is, like, how much can you you're the one who's watching this, man. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. I watched one of the newer I Spit on Your Graves.
Yeah.
And it was like, it became just like a Saw movie.
Yeah.
Like, by the end of it. But yeah, dude, my most hated movie all time. And it's only because of, like, I rewatched it again as an adult.
Yep.
And with my current, like, I cut it with all my situations.
Yep.
Then it changed the whole light of the whole movie.
Yep.
Is Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire. Spider-Man 1, yeah. Dude, as a kid, I was like, cool, Spider-Man,
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And then as an adult, I rewatched it, and I'm just like, dude, this is just messy. Like, dude, that chick is not into him at all.
And has a boyfriend.
And, dude, Do you know where I would have been out on that movie if it like wasn't all the other bullshit before that? When I'm taking out the trash and I'm like, oh hey, how you going, chick next door? Like, and she was so not into him. The mere fucking like possibility of a guy pulling up in a fucking car was a distraction for her not to talk to him anymore. And do you know what the dickhead does? Oh, I need to get money so I can buy a cool car, so she'll pay attention to me. Like, wouldn't you just be like, that's a shallow chick that would not be into me. Even if I got a cool car, there's always going to be a dude with a cooler car.
Yeah, definitely. And it doesn't mean like she's shallow either. Like, it's like I don't want to talk to this dude that's maybe stalking me.
It's just like, yeah, true. Like, I'm looking at it from like I'm a cool guy. She's not. She just maybe she just doesn't want to talk to you. Like, if you've got to convince someone to fucking date you, you're already pushing shit up a hill. Like,
definitely.
If you got to put on a mask so this person will pay attention to you, literally.
Yeah.
Just the mere fucking point of that whole movie is just creepy. And then if you rewatch it, dude, there's like a part where Spider-Man's in the fucking cage with Bonesaw, and he's like, nice outfit. Did your boyfriend make it for you?
Yeah.
Like, who in a writer's room thought that was a fucking good line?
Dude, someone in like, when did it come out? 2001?
Yeah, it's just like, oh, that's hilarious. Like, that got through a board of people reviewing content for that fucking movie. And the other point was, it's just like, oh, now that it's funny that the reason that she was into him is because she didn't know it was him.
Yeah.
Like, you put on a mask and show that you're actually a different person. Now all of a sudden, mysterious, like, different guy.
Well, he just turned into a massive Chad after he got
dude. It's like become a Chad, and she will be into you.
Well, that's like the thing. Like, looking back on that now, like, he's like the nice guy. You know, nice guy TM or whatever it is on Reddit. It's like the guy who like gets quote unquote friend zoned. I'm doing the quotation marks. It's just like, dude, you have a friend. Like, she doesn't want to fuck you, man. Like, the friend zone, like, it doesn't exist. The friend zone is like what your word is like. Oh, this chick won't like sleep with me. Yeah, it's just like,
dude, just because someone doesn't want to sleep with you doesn't mean that you're in the friend zone. They just don't want to sleep with you.
Yeah.
And the other point is, don't get mad at your mate because he had a crack and got away with it. She was just more into him. He's just a better fucking person. It just happens.
Dude,
it's how it works. Like, if you focus so much on one thing and it doesn't work, you're better off focusing your time and attention at something else.
Yeah, definitely. Like I know for a long time, like, I had like that tunnel vision. I was like, this girl, I'm gonna get this girl.
Yeah.
It's like, I wanted to like me. She's gonna be like the only one. And then like we broke up. It's like. Like, I was like the South Park like sound effect of someone just that was just basically my heart, and like it took me so long to realize it's just like, oh, we're not supposed to, like, we don't get each other. Like, yeah.
It's dude, it's one of those things. But yeah, that's why Spider-Man is just like not cool for me, because I'm like, I put myself into his situation, and I'd be like, I just wouldn't have done any of that shit, dude. To be fair, I'd be a waste of that power. Like, if I was Spider-Man, I'd use it to get the remote. I wouldn't like save people and shit. I would just use it to get the remote.
Yeah, but my Spidey sense tells me that this horse is gonna win.
yeah, exactly. Like, I'd make maybe like 3-1 on my Melbourne Cup.
Yeah,
man. But dude. Anyway, we got to get on with the mic tonight. So that's the second part of the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast with Dylan Holmes.
Thanks, man.
Hope you guys enjoyed as much as we did. This has been a lot of fun doing some movie reviews,
this was the best, man. Yeah.
So dude, fucking thanks for coming out, and thanks for doing the podcast. And now we'll kick on with the open mic at the basement. And until next time, I'll see you around.
Yeah.